Hi everyone. Oh my goodness, I shook the camera a little bit. How are you? I am going to be busy today using up some of my sewing notions that I have gathered through the years. And as you know, I'm a gatherer. So stay with me and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the majority of these sewing notions. I'll be right back. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Billy with Billy Home and Creations. I think I'm ready to get back into my craft room since I was gone most of the month. This last week I did a lot of catching up and sorting, putting things away, same old, same old. Anyway, look at these sewing notions I have gathered through the years. I'm going to make a tray. But first of all, let's go through some of these things so I can clean this off my area. Basically, of course, I've got safety pins, old scissors, these little notions that I've got from Walmart, and they're little buttons. So we'll be able to cut some of these button pieces off and put those in our tray. I already have some of that open. There's a few in here. Let me put that aside. I've also got safety pins, oh my goodness, hooks, all kinds of good things in there. Little tiny thimble buttons. I was going to dig out real buttons, but I didn't see any sense of it. Here I have some flowers. We might add a little flower or two. These are from Temu. They're just mixed, they're kind of a paper flower. I'm not really sure what they're made of, or a fabric, but I might have to prepare those with a little polyurethane before we put them in the resin. Oh, I just grabbed a couple of little bows here. Oh my goodness, this I found, I don't know where, $1. Well, I don't know where I found this, but probably it was in a thrift shop. And more colored pins, pins and needles, more scissors, old scissors. Thimbles are not going to work in this tray. They're a little too big. These aren't thimbles. Excuse me. Sewing. Come on, Billy. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Sewing machine. Thread things. That's a poor excuse for a description, isn't it? But I can't even think about that right now. I'm too excited because I'm getting the jitters already. Here's an old tape. Cut some of that off. Oh, more pins, needles, and thread. More pins. I'll probably keep these out because I once in a while do so. Here's another old tape. Oh, I had a butterfly. I cut off a bag. We might throw that in for a little accent, make it a little feminine. I also have some sequins here. We can color it up with sequins. And, oh, this lace, this plastic lace, might take a piece of that, put in there. All right, I also have another mold for the larger pieces because I want to use these up and eliminate them but make something pretty. This mold I got from Temu, and it is a flower bud mold. It's different than the other ones I have. It's really deep, and the tube, I guess you can put the tube in the front and have your flower in there, but I've got all this area to put some bigger sewing notions in, so I've not used this mold before, and we're going to try it. So let me show you what I have under here. Ta-da! I love this tray. This is my 7 by 10 inch tray. I did find them. Oh, I'll have to look it up. I did find one on another website, and of course I did order it, but it does not have the little wooden brace that holds your sides up and straight. So aside from that, we're going to use this one, and I just see a hair, of course. Annie must be napping. It's that time of day she takes her nap. So get rid of that. Here's a measurer guide. I think I Had to have, oh, that's from Tupperware. How cute. And little scissors, big scissors. I think I'll save the little scissors for something else. And these threads, I'm going to put some polyurethane on just to seal them up to eliminate oodles and noodles of bubbles. And in here, this is a little needle case. That will collect a lot of bubbles. And, oh, here's an old zipper pull. That out. That will fit. I was just trying to go around and see what would fit in the sides that are bigger. These don't fit very well in the sides. I'd have to push them, but I don't want to push them. So apparently, well, that fits in that side. Maybe it's just not this side. Anyway, let me get my polyurethane out. And I'm just going to take a little paintbrush. And we are going to seal those just to avoid bubbles. So I'm just putting, this is my polyurethane. I know there's other products out there for sealing, but this works great for me. It's rather cheap. I can get it in a quart and fill 2 of these bottles and just use it that way. So I have a paintbrush. I'm going to move this out of the road, grab these as I need to, and I'm just going to get these ready for resin. So when I'm done doing this, I might seal a few flowers too. I'll be right back and we should be ready to pour. Well, I must say, when placing these pieces, you have to be sure, or I have to be sure, nothing is going to stick up. So I just took a ruler and double checked that I have space under all that to cover with resin. So it should be okay there with some of the things I have. Well, I'll get to it. Paint these up, seal these up. I'll be right back. Oh, in the meanwhile, you know what I'm doing? In the meanwhile, I am watching a resin artist. She goes by Mini Q's. Her name is Suzy. And I'm going to try to catch up on her videos today. So give her some love and look up her channel. And I'll put the link below. I find her very, very fun. And she does some really nice things. So I'll be back after I watch this and do this. Whoops. Pause. Well, I did get most everything ready to go for these 2 molds, but I did discover something. This floral mold that holds the buds, I think we're going to have to work this one right side up, where the tray will work upside down. So that makes a difference as to how I'm going to pour. Other than that, I got everything cleaned. The buttons I snipped the backs off of. And I like the colors here of these pale pastel colors. I took those and I put a little, cut the ends off and put a little dab of UV resin. I used some JDiction UV resin on here and set that up so for one thing they'll stay together, and another, there won't get bubbles in the hole. So I pulled the light colored and the white colored out because they're rather pale, and if I put them in resin, I know that the color's gonna shift. We'll lose most of them that way. So I'm gonna try a different angle. And what I've got here is some Pinata alcohol inks. I grabbed the yellow and the orange, and I've done this before on silk flowers, and you get a really pretty effect. For instance, I did these a while ago. You can see just in the rainbow colors, and they turned out real nice. So I don't know why I say so all the time, but I do. I'm going to wet these down with some alcohol. My ibuprofen 99% alcohol. Get them wet. Oh, I'm sorry, I hit you there. Grab the tweezers, and I'm going to start, I think, with doing yellow on the outside. And when these dry, the color stays, and they dry pretty quickly. It's pretty amazing, actually. Let me go ahead and shake the orange and open that too. But I thought we could use these possibly in the second mold. Wear your gloves. This stuff really stains. So I'm going to take a flower here. I don't know where my favorite tweezers are. And I'm just going to daub a little yellow on the flowers. It works too without the alcohol on top or the clear alcohol, but I'm just gonna get some yellow in around those. Oops, see, these don't squeeze very good. I yellow them up. I'm about out of this ink. I don't want to waste it all, but I want to get these colored. I can always get some more. I did get these off of Amazon a long time ago when I first started resining. I also, one of my first videos is making alcohol ink out of Sharpie markers. Oh, I think that's like my first, second, or third video. Didn't know what I was doing then. Don't know that I've learned much from then on. Well, I think I have. I think I've done enough to where I'm getting pretty good at this. I could just put it in my hands and do it. Color these up. Ooh, that's bright, isn't it? Daub it on. So these will show up really nicely in the mold. And I'll dip them in the resin before we put them in. So I'm going to get them colored up a bit. Just like that. Make sure it gets spread around evenly. It looks pretty good. This one needs a little more. Like I said, they'll dry quick and be ready to go. The color won't come out in the resin. I know that. This is tried and true. I've done it before. Okay, that's the orange. Get the yellow one covered up. And I just want to put a little, if I can try to hold on to these left-handed here, and I just want to put a little daub of the orange in the middle. Let that spread out where it wants to spread. I might spray them again. Oh, that one got a lot. Oops, now I'm getting sloppy. Here we go. Let's see, where am I? Couple more. Just like that. And we'll give them a little spritz to blend in a little better than what I've done here. Alcohol. Here we go.
Hey, what's going on, Brad?
I'm recording, honey. He's cussing. Cussing at the cats. That one got a little too much. Well, we'll just let these dry and then we should be able to pour some resin. Okay, everyone. Whoops, I'm jiggling the camera. Sorry, that happens when I hit the button. I am back with 20 ounces of Let's Resin 1:1 volume resin. I really like this resin. It's normally very, very clear. I mixed it with my Estoyo AI mixer, which is brilliant. I absolutely love it. It goes for 4 minutes automatically, and then it shuts off. Now this is quite a bit of resin, so I gave it an extra minute and a half or so. But it is sitting here. I'm gonna let it degas or debubble a little bit. There's not much there, and I'm having to wipe off almost everything I'm using today. I went through this room with the once over because being gone, kitty cats had a heyday in here, I think. So, pardon me, I'm off to the side. I'm gonna grab some of our little add-ons that we have here ready to go. I'm trying to find a place to put this tray. Remove this resin. I see a hair already. Yep, they had their way with my room while I was gone. So, this mold does hold 20 ounces, but I don't want to fill it all the way because I need a background color. The color, I don't know yet whether I'll do a mica blend or glitter, because I really should use more glitter than I do. But if I have extra in this, I'll use it, because I have some dominoes I made a year ago almost, and I still need to top coat them. So whatever's left here, I'm going to go ahead and try to finish those off today. But I'm just going to go around the edge. We're going to fill the edge first, and then I want to thin coat across the entire back side. So let me just get some in here, and you can see where, once again, I have a unlevel table. It just annoys me. It's probably not the table itself. It is my countertop. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to start putting a few little things in here. I might dip some in resin, and I may not, but let's start with, I'll put that aside, that's for the other one. I'm going to start with some of these rolls of thread. Now, I had sealed these the best I could with polyurethane. Let me see how many I have here, and I think I will dip them as I put them in. Don't have a lot of bright colors. I didn't open the other package. I thought we'll just use what's opened, and I can use them again for another time. So I've got another black one. Let's just start. I'm just going to start dipping over to the side here, and I know they'll fit on the, here we go, get my fingers in it. I know they'll fit in the sides fine, and they'll fit on this side fine, but that side's a little thinner in width, so just maybe try 2 or 3 over here. Whoop, whoop, they're sticking together. Whoop, come on. Just want to make sure the inside's coated. And let that all drift in. We'll try to put something on the outsides. And you can be haphazard or just place anything wherever you want. I know I tend to kind of keep things, how do you say, even, or I can't think of the word. I thought this is a great way to use up all of these little sewing bobs and notions for that person in your life who might enjoy sewing. I've sewn quilts, that's about it. And then in junior high, I had to make, what did I make? Oh, an A-line skirt. I'll tell you, I had the silliest home ec teacher. Her and I went rounds. I don't know what it was about that lady, but she wasn't, I'm going to say it, she wasn't all there. I mean, and kids, you know, kids can be cruel. She wore Tinker Bells on her garters, tinkled around the school grounds. I don't know, she was just different. I got in trouble once. I'll share it. Why not? She was getting on my nerves. So, she was an older lady. Probably how old I am now. Well, maybe not quite that old, but she was an older lady, and she's tinkling around, and all she had us do in that home ec class was we made one garment, didn't know anything about sewing or cooking. She made us mend her husband's underdrawers, her husband's handkerchiefs. We'd sew them together to make them thicker. This was the whole lesson. All the lessons we got was sewing, mending, and then we had to wash the boys' sports uniforms, including their jock straps. You know, so I think I'm kind of intelligent, but anyway, this woman just got the best of me, and somehow, well, let me tell you, her class was in a bungalow. Okay, I'm going to put this upside down. Let's take a strip of this. Her classroom was in a bungalow, so we were away from the main school buildings. She was ranting and raving one day, and I shouldn't be proud of this, but it happened. Anyway, she was ranting and raving, and I was just getting tired of it. She walked into the storage room, which was a closet, a walk-in closet, and she walked in there, and I went behind her and I shut the door and I latched it closed. So needless to say, the next class found her in there. I got sent to the office, and I really didn't care. I really didn't care. But yeah, I got in big trouble for that one. But it's like, oh, please, lady, teach us something other than this bullshit, pardon me. And yeah, I got in trouble. Big time trouble. But I think I made, I don't know, points with the other kids, but the dean of girls gave me heck for that one. Let's see, I'll put that in there. Yeah, those little scissors, that's about the only place they'll fit because they're pretty thick. I don't need them on the top, but I need to get, as Julie would say, a riddle on it here. Here's that. I should put some pins in this pin holder. Anyway, that was my story about home ec. Didn't learn a darn thing, except how to sew a straight line, I guess. Oh, here's that zipper. Get that in. Let me put that over here. Well, maybe I'll be able to see it there. Let's put it over here. Put it upside down, Billy. We're working upside down with this one. Okay, whatever's thick, what's left? Here are some thimbles of those buttons we had. They're rather thick. Here's some more spools. Grab those. Those are cute. Oh, another pair of scissors. Let's dump that. Got black to black here, but I guess that's okay. Sideways. And a few of these. I'm gonna have whoops, I dropped it, way more resin than I anticipated, so maybe we'll go ahead and color that other mold, because that one we're doing right side up, so I need a base color. Oh god, I just flung that all over. Whoop, not sure. Oh, it's gonna, come on, tweezers, get in there. I do want to put some flowers in here too. Fill in the sides. But I think when you dip things like this, it helps avoid bubbles. So it's going to be right on top of that. That little ruler, it's a rubber, and I washed it off with just some rubbing alcohol because it was rather dirty. So I did that. Let me put this one maybe here. Well, these are thin enough to put on top. What am I thinking? Okay, this one's thick. Put it in here maybe. There. Okay. Now, let's see, I don't see many bubbles at all. So let's go ahead and get these bigger items on. So I'm going to just try to get that clear top real thin. And I'll run off the edge, so we'll try to make that even so I can get some of this in here. I better hurry. It's warm in this room. It's over, like, I bet it's 98 at least outside today. I do have the air conditioner on, but I'm not feeling it kick in yet. So, we're a bit warm. Whoops. Throwing things around. Pardon me. Let's get the big ones in. And if some of this sticks through on the other side, that would be the inside of this tray. We'll have to put a light layer of resin down. Just eyeballing this. Bigger. Oh, these scissors. Let's get a little resin on these scissors. Making more of a mess dipping. Should I have them open a little bit? Maybe like that. Cute. All right, let's turn these over. I'm going to try to go from the biggest to the smallest here. I keep sticking my finger in that. Oh, here's some bows. I covered these with a polyurethane too. Prevent some bubbles. Maybe we'll group those together. I've got 2 of them, but I need something. I'm about out of bigger pieces. I was going to say too, if you like this video and my content, please give me a thumbs up. That would help my channel grow. I'm feeling a little stagnant at the moment. And please feel free to share if you have friends that might like what I do. Or what I try to do, let's put it that way. And yeah, that would help me greatly. Appreciate it. Okay, where can we put this? We can put another thing of thread there. That's just on foil, it looks like. All right. Oh, this little mannequin. This was a button. Here, a little mannequin. I've kind of got things going that way, don't I? Maybe that's just embedded in me right to left, or I don't know. Here's a button. A button of a button. And I don't see any hair yet. Couple buttons here. Let's go over there. Anything you can find, I thought, that would pertain to sewing. Like I said, I've collected all these little bits and bobs forever. It's time to use them up. Whoop, come here. There's another thimble. Where can we put that? Oh, this one's floating on the other side. Here. Lay down. It'll work. Okay, little things. Now I'm going to take one glove off. I did cut that lace, but I don't think I'm going to put lace in it. But I can pick these up better with, just put some pins in. Got some safety pins here. Just drop those in. I can move them around in a minute. One over here. Some more pins. I like this so far. Whoops, you don't go there. And then my tweezers have resin on them. One of those drapery pins. Sewing needle. I don't know what these are. These are clasps. Some kind of clasps. We'll throw them into. Probably upside down. And oh, I've got plenty of these little hooks. I'll fill those in. Upside down. Go upside down. I have to get the tweezers and fix that. And I had a snap or two here. Some snaps. These are going to move till this thickens up. And a bunch of pins. Oh, we have sequins. That's what we're going to do. Oh, let me get a new tweezer that doesn't have resin on it. Thought I had two of those. Maybe not. Or I've misplaced them. Can't see them. Well, I don't want to get the glove on just yet. Just put a few more of these colored pins in here. Put a few here. Oh, that thread moved, didn't it? It went way over there. Get back here. It's thickening up already. I need to hurry. Bubble, get. Need to hurry, Billy. Oh, I just poked myself. I think those would be cute. I'm gonna have to watch these and keep moving things around with it, or try to get them back in place. This is already getting thick. Oh shoot, come on, flip over. Because it doesn't matter, does it? I'd like it to be the other way. Alright, what's getting too close to something? Okay, I'm going to, I got one right here. Go there. A few more. Get some. See, I gotta go the opposite way. Oh, I think that's gonna be pretty. I have no idea what to put behind it. Not at all. No idea. You know, I could put sequins in the next level. This is lacking over here. Okay, Billy, get going. I like collages. This almost reminds me of, you know, some of my steampunk, but in a different version. Alright, that needs a little... Okay, where are you going to go? Oh, here. Okay, let me get my glove back on. Now I wanted to sprinkle... I want green, actually. I've got some... There's multicolored and there's some green here. Should we do multicolored or green? Guess we'll do just whatever I can grab. Let's do the multicolor. That'll liven it up a little bit. Right? But I want to pour some right here. That'll move things, I bet. Cover that up. Whew. Better get my air gun. I'm just gonna sprinkle. Stuck to me already. Sequins. My mother did a lot with sequins. She was a fantastic knitter. Tell you, I was one spoiled child with the beautiful sweater she made me with all the intricate patterns, and then she used to make baby outfits for friends, and she was very, very good at it. Every time you saw my mom, she was knitting or cooking. Fantastic cook, my mom. Fantastic cook. I think I've told you before, she wanted to be a pastry chef. That was her dream. Wasn't able to do it. But, alright, I'm going to grab some flowers now. And I'm going to get my glove on. Another glove here. I don't know what kind of gloves these are. I don't tend to be allergic to resin. Smell of some specific UV resins get to me though, so I wear a mask. But yeah, I'm pretty lucky that way, I think. But I know there's specific gloves you should wear or people suggest you wear. I don't know. These were just in a box in the shop, and I use them. These are kind of muddled up. Okay, Billy, stop. Flowers. Before I do that, I don't want to get my hair gun for a second. Okay, maybe when the flowers come in, that'll raise some of this resin right here. So I like these pastels. They won't be too bright though. Oh, I was gonna dip. You know what? This isn't silicone. Let me do something. Get a cup here. One of these. And I'm gonna pour some. Oh heck, I might as well just dip. I'll just continue to dip while I'm dipping. Let's just do this quickly. See, they lose their color. They're not going to be real bold, real bright and bold. Heck, how many should I do? Let's do this. It's a good start, okay? So I like this green, this off green. It looks like a sage green. It's very pretty, I think. I'll just... Oh, I don't remember, since I did it yesterday, I did take some UV resin and I cut, I think I told you, I cut the tips off of these so they wouldn't fall apart. And put some UV resin on the back side so they would hold. I gotta get going. Get in there. Barely. Barely. They're pretty. These are from Temu. I didn't bother with leaves. Didn't think they were that important, I guess. So we'll just cover up some of these things and you'll still be able to see them with the flowers in the background. That's a pretty color. Ooh, that matches that orange over there. Okay. So, let me know in the comments how many of you, dear friends, were always in trouble in school. If you want to fess up, let me know. Yeah, I was always in trouble. You know, we had an intercom, of course, and it seemed like every day my name came across the intercom. To the office, Billy. To the office. Half the time I don't even know what I did wrong. But, oh well. I did get an education. I guess that's what matters. I like to goof off, that's for sure. Goof off. Maybe be like the class clown. But locking her in the closet, I think that was the only real ignorant thing I did. Other than that, it was just all laughs. Oh, I got in trouble too. Okay, here's a story. Went to the library one day. And I didn't like English in school. I liked it in college. I did real good in college. But in school, I just didn't like English class. Anyway, we went to the library, supposed to do a book report. Well, I was done within, 5 minutes. And here come the teacher. What do you think you're doing? I said, well, I'm finished. And she says, well, let me see it. And it was like a paragraph on a piece of paper. She wasn't real impressed. And she says, well, let me see that book. So it was a Cracker Jack book, when you get it at Cracker Jack's. And I argued with her because it said book on it. The word book was right on the title. Oh, I got in trouble for that too. Just being a smart aleck. Being ignorant. But had fun. Have to say. Alright. I think we're doctored up enough. Save these flowers for another time, but I like this blue. Okay, there. I'm going to top this off. Not all the way. Oh my goodness, I don't have much room. Might have to paint a background. Let me put another stick under this side. It's raising up. Where's all my big sticks? Come on, you. Raise up. Under the leg. Or under here. Oh, there's just a thin bit. I'll have to do. Alright, I'm going to clean these edges off too. Watch for bubbles. Call that good. Keep popping things down if they're moving before it gets too tacky. And I think that's cute. Oh, I covered up the zipper. This is going to float for sure. You know, and if it floats up and it goes overboard, I'll just sand it. Like this thing, I don't know. I wish it would lay flat. Another thing you could do is just do the frame of this mold, turn it over, feel the inside. But you won't have much of a tray that way. Or, you know, wouldn't be very much depth to hold it. Alright, I'm gonna have to babysit this. I'm back, everyone, real fast. I'm getting warm resin, so I'm gonna just add Coral Extreme and Magolia's, a little bit of orange, and this is from Glitter and Crafts. For you, I will add their link, but I have got to pour this mold, so I'm gonna go ahead, dump some in, maybe because I did the flowers gold, not gold, orange. I don't want resin all over these containers, but I don't know what that is. Those are like little flecks, something. And I don't have glue handy to try the technique with ooh, that's pink. Oh, I don't want pink. Got some colored dyes here real quick. What's orange? Let me grab something. This is from, oh gosh, Temu years ago, I think. No, not Temu. This was just for you online, UK. And the brush is on. Let's get a couple squirts in here. That's really pink. Oh, this would have been perfect had I thought. But you know, sometimes I don't. This would have been perfect to do a bloom. I say that every time I get carried away. There's a green one in there. Don't need that. Say that every time I get carried away with warm resin. And I haven't done it yet. Is that good enough, do you think? I want a little more solid. A good squirt. Alright. Pretty thick. I don't know if the glitter will fall through all of that or not, but I need a base coat. This is not covered properly. If I set something on there, I guess I can. I can move it in a minute. Looks pretty clean. So here we go. Just because I need to get it in there, and I'm gonna have to go with clear after this, I think. Well, for sure, to put our items in it, but for right now, I'll put this on the counter. Let's see, that's gonna be, I need enough for my deep things to go in and be able to cover this. So now I'm talking, what can I make that's orange? Oh, I have a pumpkin. Do you think I can find my pumpkin mold just in time? I don't know. I'm gonna go look for my pumpkin mold, pour this in it, find something, and then, oh God, that looks pretty. I'll be back, but I don't want to get any more because I need room. Some of my highest things are those bobbins. That's the word I want. The bobbins are pretty tall. I think I still have room. All right, I'll be back. Whether I have a pumpkin or something, I'll show you in a little while. Bye. Hello, everyone. I have to say, these have been sitting a few days. I didn't get to watch it completely, so some items have floated a little bit. So we need to take care of that. Before doing so, let me show you the leftover orange glitter resin. I went ahead and poured in my witch's hat. I still need to top a little bit off here, and I'm just going to go clear. And we'll get to that, and then we'll get to the bud vase. But first of all, I have to sit a minute. Let me pull up my chair. And I need to see what is really sticking up. And there's a bit of a flower here. So I'm just going to take my little pair of nips and cut those pieces off that are sticking up. And then if I glance across, I can see we barely have room for the background color. Oh, this is up pretty high. I'm gonna have to see if I can't get that off the spool. Yes, I got sidetracked again, but a little piece here, I think I can get that down to where it will cover. And if it doesn't cover, I'll try to sand it a little bit. I want to avoid putting cork, excuse me. I want to avoid putting cork on here on the back because it might distort the color. But if I have to, I have to. Oh, there's a few bubbles there. This, oh, let's see, we're gonna go over. Oh, we might make it with that. I'm going to try to trim a little bit though. See if I can't get, oh, well, I can't even get to it. I guess that stays. Here's a piece. I'm going to try to turn this without breaking the seal because I don't want colored resin going down there. I see a couple of bubbles that I need to break. If I can, then the resin will go right into those. Some edges here. Sometimes I want to peel those little pieces of resin off the sides on the inside because those will show up. Those will show up as little divots. We don't want that. Yes, it was the flowers that floated. A little nip. Okay, I'm going to go around, nip this up, and then I will pour a little resin. I think I'm going to do 2 pours on the flower vase, and I'll show you why when we get to that. This is going to be, oh, this might stick up some. But if it does, I guess we'll see. See another flower here. So, I said it again. So, I'm going to take care of this the best I can, and I will be right back. Okay, I mixed up 8 ounces of my Let's resin, 1-to-1 resin, and I do measure by weight. I find it works out just fine. And I did realize my Astoyu mixer, which I absolutely love, had a low charge, and I wasn't thinking, being away so long, to recharge it. So I am mixing by hand, but that's okay. What I want to do is I want to get the color into this one first. So grab a small cup and we'll see what we can do with a color. Now I've picked out this beautiful Beaver Dust Highland Green, and they sent me this some time ago. I believe there was 20 in a package, and I did a review on these, and they're quite beautiful. I liked the green flowers here, so I thought if I can make this dark enough, that would be perfect. And I think we're going to have some pieces sticking up, but if I can somewhat conceal them, we'll just put some bumper pads on the bottom, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now I'm on my leveling board, and you know that gives me problems. I don't even know why I use it, because the counter's what's not level. Anyway, so let's try this really pretty Beaver Dust. I'm just going to put a little bit in my bowl here, and I'm thinking maybe 2.5 or 3 ounces might fill this without fish eyes. That's my concern, fish eyes. So I'm just going to guesstimate maybe 4. Let's do 3 first. About 3. Oh, maybe that's not 3, but we'll see what happens. Got that in here. While I've got the clear, I'm going to go ahead and fill the witch's hat, and we'll set that aside. I'm just going to not worry about it being clear, because that will be the inside of the jar when the lid fits in. I could take a little, oh, watch for bubbles, whoops. Take a little mini brush here, and I see I caught Annie on my up here the other night. Caught her up here looking out the window. I tried covering this area with a what is it, a plastic table cover, like from the dollar store. She didn't like that. I know she didn't like it because she peed on it. So there went that idea. So let's put this aside. And let's see how pretty this is going to be. I want it really dark. I might have to add black. There's one good spoonful. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. It's got a shimmer to it. Let's see what this looks like. And I know people say, some people say, make sure mica's in just a little bit of resin at first to make sure it gets all broken up and mixed in well, but I keep forgetting to do that. If you do that, bravo! You're a step ahead of me, because I always, I guess, get in too big of a hurry. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. It's going to be opaque. It's almost opaque. Should put a little more in for good measure. Let's do that. And for those of you who don't know, I wear my ventilator when I mix resin, and my gloves and my glasses, so my eyes are protected. I do have a purifier right here next to me, and I think it's really, really good for, it's a Eden, what is it? Yeah, Eden Pure. Works really well in here. And it is a nice day. I could open the side window, but oh, I like that. I do like green. One of my favorite colors. Okay, just see how much this will cover. Might have to do more. Well, if so, that's okay. We will. Look how thick that is already because my room is so warm. We're going to hit 100 again today, I'm sure of it. Probably make some more anyway. Let's see. Gosh, that's pretty. I love how it goes like a marbling effect if it's not mixed, you know, all the way, or it just makes those streaks. Love it. So let's see if I can't bring this right up, and I better get with it. We're gonna need more, that's for sure. I'm just going to get, this is clear, and I was going to do several layers, so this is going to work out just fine. And I don't have green on that, do I? But what I want to do is, let me show you. That white piece is going to show through this right here. So I'm going to dunk, I just cut a few pieces of ribbon, orange ribbon, and if they will stay in place, which they may not, I'm just gonna try and cover some of that up. I could have cut a little more off. I can bring it down to the side. Is that right side up? Don't know, but that will cover that white, I think. I better trim a piece of this off. Too late to do that one, I think. So let's try that again. Just to camouflage it from the front, because we are working right side up on this one. Come on, let's go with the curve. Oh, am I gonna have to finger it? Yep. I just want that to be covered up a little. Oh, perfect. If that stays put, I'll be happy, 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 happy. I should cut that. Oh, it's already in there though. I think I can, if I'm very careful. Got a little pair of resin scissors here. Well, I probably will have to lift it up anyway. Let's just cut some of that off. Ah, come on. There we go. Move that. All right, let's do this again. We'll just move it up. Move this up. There. There. Now we can hide that from. That's got to go over this one, doesn't it? We're going over that. Okay, hey, I wasn't sure. I thought about foil, so I'm going to pour the rest of this in. And we'll add a few things. I like these big pop sticks. They've already been coated with resin so many times, so I do not worry about bubbles. And I have a bunch of them, so I'm going to use them up. Maybe one day I will upgrade. But until then, these work just fine. Get all of that in there. Good enough. Okay. Now, get that off. I think it's pretty even all the way around. Should have tried not to get any on the side. I'll clean that up when it dries. Don't play with it, Billy. You know how you get. Alright, wipe this off. I am going to give this a little heat gun real quick. I'll pause you again. Okay, let's get some of the decorations here. The main thing I want to get in is these flowers. Oh, I didn't leave enough to dip, but that's okay. Didn't these turn out nice with just your alcohol inks? And if I can sort of figure out where I'm going with half of these, I'll just put them in this bag. So pardon the noise. So that I get the bigger things in. And I want to work around these scissors because they're going to have to go in there somewhat like that. So plan is, what can fit if I eyeball these like that? Actually, they could go across, but I thought first let's cover up that little business with a flower. Oh, don't pull it down, Bill. You better keep an eye on that, eh? And I just want to get some flowers in. If they get covered up a little bit, that's okay. But I just thought we could layer this if we had to. Maybe one over here. Get them in anyway. And I wanted to get one of these bobbins in. Maybe we could put one, probably put one over here. Look how rusty that is. Like that. We've got 3, so we might as well get the big things in right now. Except for the scissors, they'll come later. Oh, I must sit down. Excuse me a second. Let's add a few more posies. Let's move you over just a skosh. Hide that. We can put some, let's see, thicker things in, like some thread. I wasn't sure about this is supposed to be a thimble. Could put it there. I don't want to cover it up. Well, maybe I do want to cover it with the scissors, but it's going to stick up. Oh, let's just put that down here to the side. It might move. So that's about the highest piece right there. We'll see how high the scissors go. Other than that, what else is pretty? There's a thimble. Now that's silver. I don't want to put it by the scissors. Anything else? This is about it that is tall. We'll put that there. And then when this sets up or gets tacky, we can come back and do the rest. I'm wondering, should I put some sequins in now? Maybe I could. Should I use up all these flowers? Maybe I could do that too. Should have thought about leaves and I didn't. get you right about there. Not so close. And the scissors will cover most of that. Maybe that's good enough for the flowers. And then we still have, well, let's see. I wonder if I should get the bigger things in. Like, oh, now no, we still have, I could put that on top. We'll have try to give it a dimensional look. So the rest of this I will save till we get the last coat on. Let this set up. And my witch's hat is tilted. Let me go put a stick into that real quick over here. Oh, maybe not. All right, I will cover these up. Wait till they set a little more. And we'll go ahead and finish this off. And I'm so happy about this ribbon hiding that. I really am. Gosh, that makes me happy. All right, everyone. I'll see you in a little while. Until then, take good care. Have a great rest of your day. I don't want to touch my phone with the dirty finger, but here we go. Well, everyone, this is cured up pretty well. I did check on it a couple of times, and I tried to poke down some of these flower stems a little bit when they were flexible, but they're pretty hard now. So I weighed this as it is on my scale, and it was almost 12 ounces. So normally if I weigh something after it's completely cured, that gives me an idea as to how much resin I need. So I mixed up 10 ounces because I think we're halfway there, or almost halfway full. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. And since I didn't charge my mixer, I mixed it by hand. And this is my Let's Resin, and I must have mixed too quick because I have quite a few bubbles in here. But I'm hoping they won't, they will degas as we go along. So I'm first of all just going to put a little bit of resin at the bottom, and I am going to add just a few sequins. I don't want to throw them in. I'd like to be a little neater than I was in the other tray with them. So let's just put a few sequins down. And I have this in my tray of my Let's Resin curing machine. I'm hoping that I can go ahead and cure this quickly so we can unmold. And I'm just going to grab my tweezers and throw, or try to place, a few sequins without them sticking together. Upside down, right side up, it doesn't matter to me. Let's get a few. I should have cleaned my tweezers better. It's hard to grab one at a time, I must say. And if we cover them, that's all right too. Let's just get a few in place. These are multicolored. I thought about just putting the yellow in, but there's a bunch stuck together. Must have been from my last attempt with resin. And I will have everything I use in my description box. And if you haven't looked in my description, under where it says more, you will find that I try very hard to give you the definition of what I'm using. I have discount codes for a lot of resin requirements, or tools, mixers, lamps. I also have my Amazon storefront, and what that is, if you don't know, is I list everything that I purchase from Amazon in my storefront, and if you were to click on my link to get into Amazon, you can shop for anything you want, not just what I have there in the index, but you can shop for anything you want, and that gives me a little bit of a kickback for sale. So if you do that, I appreciate that too very much. Every little bit helps. I've begun to realize that I really miss my band money, but that's okay. We'll just make do, just make and do. A couple more over here, I think. That's also given my resin in the cup a little bit of time to degas, and it's still quite warm today. Whoops, come on off of there. I just want one right there. Well, kind of right there. Let's have a pretty pink there. I think they're dispersed sort of evenly. We'll call that good. Now, these scissors, and I did wipe them once before with alcohol, and let me just do that again. Initially, I did take acetone to clean these up. I'm still getting a little bit of rust particles off of here, but these must be pretty old. I can't see a brand on there, or it's quite it's wore off, but I'm hoping to put these scissors about, I don't want to cover all the flowers, but I think I had it figured to go like this. I don't want to go over the hump. I think that'll work. And as we go, let's just add what there is left. Now this tape is real big, so I don't want to use that. I could cut a little piece of this tape. And that was another thing I did, is I cleaned these tapes with alcohol. Acetone took the letters right off, or the numbers right off. So should we do this side? Where could we put that? Maybe across there. We're gonna have some things on top of the others. That's okay. At least we'll have a little bit of dimension, I think. Now what's big? Let's get this little sewing machine in here. That's so cute. I am gonna cover flowers. Look at that. And then we have this tape here, which was a button. And we can put that. Ooh. Am I gonna have room for everything? I think so. We'll make it work. You can still see the flowers, and we can add flowers if we want. There's a few, there's a snap in there. What else can I put in here? There's a button. Which is the right side? That's the right side. And I do have these needles here. I wonder if I can bend that paper to kind of wrap at least the tips down on here, possibly. I'm gonna dip that though. I'm gonna dip that and make sure it gets in there real well. Oh, this is so cute. It's amazing what a collage can do, isn't it? I need another stick. Let me hold this down, and we'll try to get that like so. I don't want it right in the middle, but about there's probably good. And let's see. Oh, we have a sewing needle. I need a straight place or a thin place for that. Maybe here. You can still see it. And here's one more little. Oh, I know what I'm missing. I am missing this little what do you call these? I forgot. Mannequins. A little mannequin. We'll just put, oh, that'll cover that. Maybe she can sit. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I won't have a place for her. So I go on that flower. Let's just do that. And we've got another little piece of, whoops, where'd it go? Little thread button here. That's really cute. Put that there. Is that too crowded? That looks too crowded. Let's see. Where can I put you? There. Right by that flower. That's pretty much it. Another snap. Oh, I could have put that there. Oh well, that's okay. There's a snap. These other snaps. Where can we put those? Down here. Right in there, maybe. I've got a few flowers left, but I think we have plenty of flowers. Safety pin. Whoop. Not exactly there, but... And that's in there solid, so... Oh, maybe I don't have room for a safety pin. What's there? That's a flower. Goodness sakes. Well, we'll just cross it over. We'll stick it there. And maybe a straight pin or two. How's that? I guess I don't want a blue one. We don't have much blue in there. But we'll do it anyway. Right there, maybe. There. Oh, this is so pretty. Let's go in threes. I think we've got plenty. Oh, here's a few more snap pieces. Couple. And we'll call it good. Perfect. Now, alright, my bubbles have seemed to dissipate a little bit. We'll just pour some alcohol in there and let's see what happens. If I can cover everything, we'll call it good. If not, I will have to make more. Oh, there goes the sequins are going to float. That's alright. Got to cover a lot here. That's really tall. Cover that flower, cover the top of those. Cover you, you can float around, it doesn't matter. Sewing machine's floating, get that down. Oh, I think that'll do it. You know what? That will do it. I'll have to push those down though. Let me just get this out. Spatula here. And it's not the way all the way to the top. Oh, gosh, it almost is. Look how uneven I am. It is almost to the top. Perfect. Boy, that was a good estimate. So, I'm going to put this on the curing machine. I'm going to check it within maybe 30 minutes and make sure I'm not getting a flash cure. I normally just use this for, you know, thinner items like, well, I did those dragons. They worked out. Like coasters mainly. Just a little bit down there. Get that out. I see bubbles. Oh my goodness. This is the front, and you need to sink. You do two. Maybe they'll go here eventually. Should have had something more in the middle. Okay, everything's down. There's a bubble. And I'm not going to spray alcohol. I'm just going to get my heat gun. Move that. You can hardly see that red thimble, which now looks pink. But maybe that's just from the pink mat it's on. And I will keep an eye on these, or this, and that is probably a hair. And we're going to call this good. So I will get back to you, oh my gosh, when this is completely set. And I'm right at the very lip. There's going to be a lip. We might have to do a little gold pen or silver pen along that lip because it's coming in just, oh gosh, maybe a 32nd of an inch, almost an eighth. Looking for my spray. I'm just going to spray this in my container. Get this cleaned up, things put away. Take my heat gun to it, and I'll see you in a little while. Bye. Hello everyone. Oh, finally we're ready to demold. I can't believe it. I had a little trouble. I'll tell you about that in a second. Let me go ahead and let's get this hat, the witch's hat for the witch's pumpkin jar house, demolded. I just added a little clear to it to top it off. We'll put a little alcohol inside. Get that loosened up in here. I came right to the top, so I know this lid will fit perfect. Let's hope we don't have any bubbles on the edges. And it looks like I might be okay. Oh, come on. Fingers work for me. I got a finger cut. Broke fingernails. Hands are a mess right now. Forgive me. Anyway, here it is. I love doing this mold. I've done it several times last Halloween, but we, of course, will doctor this up. Let me grab you my, one of the first ones I did. Just as a recap, because, oh goodness sakes, I'm right over here. Let me get it. You know I like to embellish, so this is the one I embellished last year. Just easy little things. Added a little skull, put a little eye on the door, put some blood in the windows. Other than that, that's all I did to that one. But the hat, a little special. Put a little bat on it. Skull and bones. I did some sand and glitter around the rim here. The hat band and a spider on it. So just a little added something to this one. And I think I'm keeping this to myself, or there's another one with purple. I can't remember. I'll have to look and see when I get my Halloween decorations out. I just never put that one away. Anyway, so we'll have to finish the hat, and I'll pour a pumpkin. There is a little nick right there. You can see it right there. That's okay. All right. This was my problem child. Okay. I had it in my Let's Resin oven, I'll call it, my Let's Resin curing machine. And I found a few hairs I missed because I looked and looked and looked, and now I still see another one. So I sanded those areas off, did a top pour, filled it really, really up. Then I thought, okay, I still have time to pull a hair out of here. And I have a glob. It didn't work right there. So I am going to have to sand the face of this. And, oh, that light's bright. That's my ceiling light. Apologize for that. But other than that, I will fix that. And make that invisible. But this is a nice mold, isn't it? Oh, I didn't grab a tube. But once we get it out, we'll be able to see better. There we are. I like that. That turned out nice. What's on there? Oh, that's on the bottom. Anyway, aside from my mishap, I really like how the ribbon showed up here. Bubbles came up through the thread. There's my goober. A few more bubbles underneath there, but I do like the layered effect. And covered up most of the flowers, but that's okay. I think it's pretty neat. That would be a great gift. There's your side view. Be a great gift for a seamstress in your life if you wanted to put all these sewing notions together and make a nice vase. I'll get a tube, and I get them from Amazon, and I'll do a picture of this one. Of course, I need to fix this edges and that. I tell you, I cannot get this house hairproof. Now, okay, the tray, this did stick up. I've got a little stick up here. I think those were the bows, I believe. I can't remember what that was. I'm disappointed that this edge here dipped in. It's curved. But other than that, I'm not sure if I want to cork the bottom or just put bumpers on. I think I'll just kind of smooth that off a little bit and take the bumper. You go the bumper route. So let's get rid of this frame, which I'm glad it has for sure. And I know these edges can be very sharp. I'll be sure to take my Dremel and just go around the edges and smooth those off. And then if you sand and you want to cover the markings from your sander or your nail file or your deburring machine for that matter, you can just take a little paintbrush with polyurethane and go right around the edges. It'll clear that right up and you won't see any of that distortion in the colors. Okay. Oh, are we ready? Oh, I'm sorry about the light again. Here we go. 1, 2, oh, which is right side up? I think that's up. Okay, we'll see. Let me flip it. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Oh, look at, oh, that's great. That is great. Oh, it's really good. It's really good. Look at that. It is loaded. It is loaded. I don't have any bubbles or nicks on the side here. It's all nice and clean. The tape makes it look like it's bowed a little bit, but it's just the tape. And there's everything you put in. A little, oh, what is that? That's a fleck of something. Oh, let's pretend it's a sequin. But you can see how everything is embedded in that green. The green turned out beautiful. Oh, I do have the needle threader upside down. Other than that, it looks pretty awesome. From the sides, okay, you can see a couple bubbles under the flowers, but there's our sides. I think that turned out really, really nice. Really nice. I like that. And there we are. That's a beautiful tray. Lovely gift. Anyway, I'm getting ready for Christmas a little bit at a time here, so this would be a lovely gift for someone I know who loves to sew. Or maybe someone you know who loves to sew. I might put this in my Go Imagine shop. We'll see. Anyway, I'll take some stills. Get rid of that glare. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like. And if you'd like to join me and my friends, subscribe and we'll have a good old time. Until then, I'll see you next week. Take good care. Big hugs. Bye.